Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So January is often a stressful month for most people, considering the financial strain usually associated with celebrating the Christmas season. This leads many to neglect their budget as they enjoy the celebration. Joining us on the show is a guest who's going to enlighten us on how to spend prudently this festive season. With us is the public relations consultant, a PR auditing expert, Dr. Ajishon Joseph. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you on. All right, so we've been talking about giving earlier, right? And because this is Christmas, we want to just give. Me, I told my husband I want to give like never before. I want to give. But as I'm giving, he's like, remember January is coming, no? You know, there's a lot of things to do. So how do we give, but yet be prudent, or purchase, and yet be prudent in this season?
Thank you very much for the question. The first and most important thing I would like to point out here is to look at the definition of the word spending. Spending is inevitable and everyone must spend, even this money you spend on your way coming. So you can't do without spending. But according to Socrates, it says, the beginning of wisdom is a definition of things. And when you're looking at the definition of spending, you look at spending as a financial interaction that has to do with the exchange of money for the place of value of goods and services. So you're exchanging money for the value of goods and services, and that's what spending is all about. Now, how you spend is what matters a lot in this in this season of the year. But the challenge of most people is that while spending, they don't spend wisely. And that is why at the end of the festive season, you see everybody going back to financial disease. I call it financial disease because at the end of the day, you'll break down health-wise, psychologically, family, and the likes of it. Now, the first step towards wise spending is financial planning, and it takes discipline to plan financially. Now, what is financial planning? Financial planning is a forethought that helps you to decide in advance what to spend, how to spend, for whom to spend, where to spend. And when this is decided, you'll be able to plan your finances based on these elements. Now, first and foremost, you talk about how much you're earning per month. When you look at how much you're earning per month, you should be able to design the percentages that goes into the festive season period, the one that goes for family feedings, the one that goes for your personal upkeep, the one that goes for saving. Because according to the richest man in Babylon, the writer says 1% of what you earn is for you to keep. So the challenge we have, especially in Africa, is that we lack the discipline to pay ourselves. We'll pay the woman who sell clothes to us, we'll pay the food vendor, we'll pay every other person.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I mean, this is nice theoretically, but here's the thing. My auntie just called me now. her daughter is in the hospital. I've already planned my money. I've planned everything I'm going to spend. I know how much I'm buying for present. But daughter is in hospital and she needs that just 60K to come out. And you know, that 60K is just it's small money now. So how am I going to get it out of my financial planning?
That's a fantastic question. I was still on the issue of financial planning.
I was just going to add to her question because if you are going on the road and you just see one, I need to buy this thing. I love this top. It's not inside the financial planning.
So you don't buy it.
So
and that's the discipline you talk about.
I'm still explaining these factors here. Okay, I say you earning, let's say you're earning 100,000 naira per month. Right. And when you're talking about financial planning, you don't only plan for what to eat and what to drink alone. You also plan for welfare, where you have a budget for welfare. And your budget for welfare cater for unforeseen circumstances, or you talk about contingencies, what you don't plan for. And you'll be so much disciplined to the point that when you expend the budget for welfare, you don't go out of it any longer. It's not bad, you're saying.
Are you a Christian?
Very much a Christian.
And you know that the Bible says we should give.
Yes.
So, as a Christian, when you're confronted and are you separating your Christian life and your financial life in such a way that you have money in your account and you will see a need and you won't meet the need?
Definitely no. Now, but let me tell you this. The Bible says this. There is that scattereth, yet lacketh not. And there is that withholdeth beyond meats, yet lacketh. Now, listen to the word, withholdeth beyond meats. One thing is to have your savings. Another thing is to think to yourself what you should give out to other persons. Okay. Jesus said, you will always have the poor around you. But that doesn't say they should expend everything they have in their budget. So, according to the richest man in Babylon,
This richest man in Babylon you're talking about.
It's a book.
No, it's a book that everybody should read. Everybody needs to read it. Everybody needs to read it and be so disciplined about it.
I know it, but I haven't read it.
I've not even heard of it.
Self-help.
I was wondering who you
That's
said.
why you're still in Alagbale. That's why you're still in Alagbale. You should have moved to Banana Island by now.
No, but what do you
I
Banana
I
Island?
want to ask you
I
this.
love Banana
I'm just
Island.
joking. I'm just joking.
No, I have planned my budget. Yes. I have gone, I've given a little, created a little percentage for that welfare.
Yes.
Then another thing comes, and it's
You
urgent.
say no. You say no.
Then I quarrel with my whole family members because
You
of that
don't.
small money that they were
You
asking me
don't.
for.
But okay, let me
don't,
paint
you
the
don't.
scenario for you.
You know they say man proposes, God disposes. So yeah, continue.
It's true, YK. You're very correct.
Now, look at what you just painted to me right now. Now, also put into consideration the fact that if you don't have the money and they know you don't have the money, they wouldn't come to you. Is what to tell people you have that helps them to ask you.
No,
No,
not in
really,
Nigeria.
really.
Sorry.
I think he's
No,
right.
let me also come here. I'll give you an instance. There was a particular time, the first job I actually got anyway, you know, the money was coming in, I don't know how to spend my money, and I discovered that before the month ends, a friend will call, brother will call, sister will call, oh, please, can you borrow me so amount of money, I want to use it for this and that. And I discovered that at the end of the month, I do not have any savings. So you know what I did? I got an inspiration. I call it divine inspiration. Then I said, a colleague of mine said, Joseph, why don't we have contribution in the office and let's make 50,000 naira. I said, okay, I think this is a good excuse for me to tell anybody who's asking me money, I'm pushing my money somewhere so they wouldn't have to come to me and
But
ask
in fairness
me.
to what you said earlier, because before you were here, I was telling you earlier, I am very prudent. I don't spend anyhow. But since your view, people think because I'm on TV now, they tripled or quadrupled my salary. They come to me that school fees, can you go to the hospital? Can you come? They just assume that I have more money. I'm thinking, my salary has not changed. I'm earning the same money I've been earning since I entered this company. So what exactly is different? So that's what he's saying, that is the way you project yourself, that people think that you're approachable.
You don't project yourself.
I don't project myself like a rich person.
Yes.
And people ask me all the time.
Exactly.
I don't project.
Me,
like,
I
and also-
project myself as an Ijebu girl, and they don't ask me anything.
You see, because you don't
Yes.
do
I tell them I'm an
You project
Ijebu
yourself
girl.
like a selfish person.
As
That's why
an
nobody asks you.
Ijebu girl. Is what you call it selfish. I project myself as an Ijebu girl.
Don't
I
abuse Ijebu people.
I'm an Ijebu girl.
Don't
So they don't
abuse
ask
yourself.
me because I am not, they know that I'm not in that space. I will never carry cash. In my bag, I don't have a naira. You will meet it.
Why?
I don't always have it.
So when something happens, how would you?
I will survive. If you have the money, you will spend it. If you don't have, you will think of something else to do at that time. So I've been able to do that, but I've been challenged with this percentage matter.
Okay.
Because I want to eat. And then they said that for me, I should plan my salary and say that 10% or 5% of my salary is going to go to food. Then I will plan all the food I must eat to fall within that money. That's not what I do. Right now, I plan what I want to eat and spend the money to eat what I want to eat. So can you explain to us the philosophy of
Behind it.
budgeting your food and ensuring whatever you eat falls under it?
Okay, all these things we're talking about still boils down to self-discipline.
Discipline.
Okay, sure.
Look, men are in sizes. Life is in phases. Live your size according to the
You obviously read
phase
a lot of books.
where you are.
A lot of philosophical books.
No,
Go ahead.
these are not
Just
philosophy.
man
These are
live
things
your
that
size.
It's a
men are
Babylon
in-
book.
Men are in sizes. Life is in
I can't
phases.
leave my size though.
So it is.
If you leave your size, you
If
will
I
just
leave my
explode.
size, I'm going to.
No, I don't mean it from the context where you're talking about from. I'm talking about what you can afford. You don't need to live a life of a make believe.
Right.
Right,
You don't have to impress people.
True.
The best way to live is, this is who I am. If you want to accept me, accept me as I am. No, you definitely must spend. You cannot take that out of it. But let me give you instances.
Take it out.
Someone comes to meet you, so ask for a loan of 50,000 naira, and in your welfare budget, you have just a 50,000 naira to cater for as many persons that will come. Now, my mom told me while I was growing up, she said, never borrow anyone something, but if you have what to contribute to his, the burden of the person, go ahead. Now, I have 50,000, someone is asking me for 50,000, and it's not only for him. I say, okay, sorry, I may not be able to give you all, borrow you all, but let me give you 5,000 naira. For the 5,000 left, you can meet some other persons. And professionally, from the public relation point of view, it might look awkward, but this is how to solve problems. There's different ways of solving problems.
I'm talking to somebody because of this thing.
Okay.
The person asked me for a large amount of money, very large. When I thought of my life, I said, she wanted a loan. I said, hey, well, even if I collect all the money I have,
all your panty,
I can't give you that loan. But I can give you a percentage of that money. In fact, I don't want to loan you. I just give you. As pay. Hey, she said no.
Imagine
it's that loan.
But you've done your best. You don't care what anybody will think about you. But
okay,
sincerely speaking,
let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take some calls and tweets on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, some people are already complaining on Twitter that they've already attacked Bessie already this
please, I have to read the tweets.
But I will come to that too. But I wanted to ask you concerning, many of us are Christians and Muslims, we pay tithe. After you pay tithe, you now pay sacrificial offering, you now pay
fishing
contribution. There's so many contributions. And these are things that you have to.
Building project.
But you have to be part of.
Development
and then you still do
you
family.
really have to be part of it?
Yes, because it's the godly thing to do. In January, there's first fruits. So how do you now manage your life that you're not dying in January?
thank you for that question, and thank God that I'm a Christian as well. I've also fallen short of indiscipline in spending over time, and I discovered that I never advanced from the level that I used to be. But a certain period of time, I was seeking God's face, and I was asking Him, how come I'm earning this much, and yet I don't have enough to live with? Then He made me to read a book written by
Chessman?
No, not Richard Span in Babylon, Kenneth Copeland. Right. It was recommended by Bishop David Oyedepo, Kenneth Copeland, in the Book of the Month, and I picked it, and the book was titled The Laws of Financial Prosperity. Now, in that book, I discovered the secrets to become rich even while you're a Christian. The problem with so many people is that they give to impress their ministers. They are not giving because they want to give to God. Now, I learned from that there are basic 4 aspects of giving in the house of God, and you must do it prudently. You must give your tithes. You must pay your offering. You must give to the needy. The Bible says He will give to the poor, lend unto the Lord. If you pay your tithe, He said He will open the windows of heavens and pour you blessings.
What verse is that?
We don't.
See, jumping off of my
Now, get it right. We are heading somewhere. Now, if you give to the Lord, offering,
tithe offering, you're already on the number 3.
Okay.
Poor, then the number 4.
Okay, the number 4 is project offering.
Okay.
Oh,
Now,
project.
the project.
Let me pause you for a second. How about Adewale to hold it for a while? Adewale will be joining there. Don't let freeze hear you. Go ahead.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, go ahead.
You guys have a very interesting topic
Yes.
today.
Yes, go ahead.
The money is actually a very spiritual matter. And if you are not careful, you won't get it right until you die. Basically, what I do is, I may not have the bulk of money, but I throw money around where I can't even reach them, even sometimes when I need them. Okay, my wife just got the money some week ago. This money I've been saving it since January. You won't have access to it until December. There are some money that if you need it in 2 years, you start saving for them. So that kind of money is already out of my money. Right. So at the end of every month, what I have left is about maybe 55% of our salary combined. And after the 55%, by the time you remove money for food, remove money for this, we have very little left, and we are fine. So what happens with most people is that they want to spend more than they earn. When I was earning like 50,000 naira, I was still saving 7,000 naira every month.
Wow. Okay, thank you very much, Adewale. Just on Twitter or
I do exactly what Adewale just said, and I think that if you were, and that was something I got from my pastor. If you earn 100,000, you will survive on 50,000. If they cut the salary of everybody to 20,000, you will still find a way to survive. Yeah. So it's that sacrificial mindset you use in planning for your future, because if you don't, you won't grow. And the same style, there are many savings policies. I use, like, I don't want to mention brands, but I use some that I can't have access to the money. That way, when you tell your family member, I don't have money, you honestly don't. You're not lying. You don't have access to it because you've planned for it, and Ajo is also a good way.
Yes. I think there's another aspect to that. Yes. That in terms of giving, there are some seasons, like this season, I hate that word, that phrase, season of giving, but there are some situations that are set up for you to spend money. The whole institutions, everything around you is geared towards getting your money, especially in America. Okay, but let's talk about Nigeria. At that point in time, you get into this frenzy. Everybody's giving something 50% off, 20% off. Do you understand? They're telling you, oh, this is the time
There's no
to
percentage,
give.
you don't mind them.
Of course, it's 100% of what you didn't even want in the first place.
Exactly.
You know? I think that, again, we should also get out of that mindset of, oh, this is season
for gifts.
to give.
My staff, they want to do party, Christmas party.
Okay. Me, I always give them Ankara every year. They're already asking me, I say, well, we need Ankara right now.
Well, looking at the topic, basically, how do we spend prudently during this festive period? That's what we're actually talking about. There are different ways to spend prudently. Now, aside from having financial plan and having your budget, there is what we call comparison shopping. You know,
what shopping?
Comparison shopping. You have your list, you have your checklist already, what you want to buy. You don't just go to a shopping mall or online shopping store and say, okay, this is the price they're giving to me, I'm buying it. You also have to compare the prices.
Okay.
Let me just say this, there is what we call anticipated shopping, or what I call proactive shopping. Now, before the festive season comes, you make sure those
He's here already. Okay, we want something that we can do now.
No.
Answer the call. Let me take this call. Hang in there. Let me take this call. Moin, are you there? Hello, Thomas, are you there?
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
Please, go ahead. We have 10 seconds.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to make a contribution towards the discussion.
Yes, go ahead.
Our guest, in fairness to him, the way he was talking at the initial stage, he was very cohesive, but now he tried to divert. When he said he read a book that he gave the 4 principles of way of giving in the church. And when you follow those 4 principles, as he mentioned, you will discover no matter whatever you earn, it will not be easy for you to save. No. If you say you have to pay a tithe, excuse me, if you say you have to pay a tithe, to pay tithe properly, you must pay 10% of whatever is you are earning. And I wouldn't love him to deceive any person. You know, the people who are preaching that the Malachi says, if you pay tithe, that God will open the gates of heaven and let down the wealth that you will not have room enough to contain. But they forgot that the principles of paying tithe, the law that gave paying tithe, has been mentioned in Deuteronomy 14, and none of them talks about that. All of them that they are saying is that.
Thank you very much. We don't want to go into the argument of tithing because it's really.
But he mentioned the fact that if you pay those 4, there's no way you will have savings.
Yes.
By the time you're paying.
Can I read some tweets? Can I read some tweets, please?
Yes, please.
Ayodele says, I suggest that topics like this be handled earlier than now because by now people have already entered BC for Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Then Saeed Aris says, the hand above that is the giver is better than and blessed than the one below, that is the receiver.
That's
the trick. Says, we cannot compare ourselves with those abroad. We are tied to our families, friends, and the poor. That is why we have people always asking. We need to analyze that to do with Nigeria, not foreign settings.
We have to round up. I think one of the words that we've gotten from you, sir, is self-discipline. Regardless of what, if you're giving tithe, do project offering, clinical offering, everything. Do whatever you do, for it. But you must be self-disciplined and have that financial plan. You know how much you earn, know how much, budget how much you want to give away, and no matter what, and don't lie about it. Actually put that money elsewhere that you don't have access to, so you don't have to lie to people about it. I think hopefully with that information,
for next year, you'll
But
be
first
wiser.
fruit, I've not
I
answered
don't
first
mind
fruit.
lying. No.
I did not read where first fruit is in my
First
Bible.
fruit, oh really?
So I don't understand.
First
Enter my
fruit.
account.
Anyway, for those of you that are planning for first fruit, just save a bit. Manage
Pay your
yourself.
children's school fees by December.
To call.
First fruit. Okay, first fruit is what you have to earn. Yeah, that's the first earning
And
in
it's
the
every
year.
year, every year.
All we can take.
What are you talking about?
I don't understand too.
Okay, I don't know what
That's all we
they're
can
talking
take on the
about
show.
either.
I hope you enjoy the show as much as we did. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Your first fruit.